Let's listen to this again. This is the StarCraft equivalent of a small loan of $1 million.
Especially at the lower leagues, so anywhere from like maybe low Grandmaster, like somewhere below rank 100 Grandmaster.
I love this! So we're just opening up a quick 8 Zerglings here. I don't expect to get much damage done with these, which is why I spent so long attacking the pylon. Him delaying this is always good though. Okay. Nexus is quite late. I'll leave 4 Zerglings back at home. Or sorry, over here. This is my new home. I think it's just the Adept moving out. Is he dead? Nope. Oh, we actually got a drone. Okay, well, still got it. Huh, what a mess! Don't really know what his follow-up is going to be. When in doubt, queens? Seems like good advice. I haven't seen much out of him. It's kind of difficult to scout right now, though. I haven't seen a Stargate unit yet, by the way. That's kind of nuts. Ooh, okay. He has completed the wall. What? Just a couple zealots? Okay, no, not just a couple zealots. Brenda, no! I'm actually a little concerned about this, guys. I do not think I can break that. That prism is doing crazy things. Yep, dead. Well done. This was a cool push. I haven't seen this kind of response before. Yeah, maybe I could have tipped in right there with an Overlord, but like... Yeah, see, like this is the problem. It would cost me an Overlord. And for all I know, the gates could have been here, right? Oh, this is in a Hearthstone video from yesterday? Oh, I see. It's a new Hearthstone build? Cool. So wait, this is on purpose? 12 probes in a natural? Man, a new Protoss 2-base all in? I'm glad there's another Protoss build to have to account for, Chad. No, this is cool though, because it's not a Stargate opener. I'm glad.
It's your boy Hearthstone coming at you with another guide. Today I want to be showing you a quick PvZ all-in. I know a lot of people are struggling in PvZ.
Dislike! Okay, I'm just kidding. It's a joke. A lot of people are struggling in PvZ. Hello. Who? Who out there is struggling in PvZ? Who? Who's struggling in PvZ? The Zerg. Oh, wait. He's saying a lot of people are struggling. The Zerg. 50% of the players in the matchup are struggling. The Zerg. I got you.
Showing you a quick PvZ all-in. I know a lot of people are struggling in PvZ. They don't want to play Void Race anymore. So here I have a bit.
See? When you've won too much with Void Race, guys. And you just start getting bored. You're like, man, another PvZ? Gotta make Void Race again? Oh my god. Alright, I guess I win.
That we used to play back in 2019. That back then I made.
Twitch chat said it was 2014, then it was 2016. Doesn't matter, guys. It had a 20 in it.
And I figured, you know what? Why not show it to the guys right now? Maybe they get some use out of it. Especially at the lower leagues. So anywhere from like maybe low grand.
Yeah, see, I love when pro gamers do this. They're like, okay, this is a good build. It's for the lower leagues, you know, for those of you in like low grandmaster to maybe like silver league. They're in a whole other like they're in the upper echelons, man. Let's listen to this again. This is the StarCraft equivalent of a small loan of $1 million.
Especially at the lower leagues, so anywhere from like maybe low grandmaster, like somewhere below rank 100 grandmaster.
I love this. That's so funny. Yeah, low level players, guys. You know, top 100 world.
So, all the way down to bronze. This should be fine. So the way we start is the first. Let me just go back.
So what he's saying is that like Serral defends this, Raynor defends this, Lambo defends this, Elaser defends this, Scarlet defends this, Rogue defends this, Dark defends this. Probably like another 4 or 5 players, but that's about it. There's dozens of us. Dozens that can defend it.
The first thing we do is the first probe that returns the minerals, or one of the first probes that return the minerals. You send it, you send it across the map. And you do that to block your opponent's natural. You just queue it up and you patrol there.
He's not trolling. This is legit. It's like with the rank roulette. You know the rank roulette series that Hearthstone did? Where at some point Euthermal is on. And Euthermal asks what's better, Masters 1 or Masters 3? People at like 6.8k plus MMR, they're at a complete, like, they're way better. Like, a rank 100 player is not going to win against a top 10 player. The skill difference is ginormous. It's crazy.
Out of the Nexus will be...
Well, I mean, they can obviously lose, but...
Towards the natural. This one will build a pylon. It will look a little bit silly, but it's actually very useful. Okay? We continue our pro production. If you're new to build orders, by the way, I will be saying things like a 14 pylon, 16 gateway. This is the timing with of the building. I always try to stack my workers a little bit so they're all 2 by 2, so you don't have any...
Yeah, he's explaining it for the low GM players in the chat that don't understand build orders.
Any double working going on or triple working, which isn't very useful. Usually around 1 minute, 105, 110, after blocking your opponent's natural, you want to check into your opponent's main base. Hey, what is my opponent doing? Mine with 2 workers in gas. We can also mine with 1 worker in gas. With this build, it doesn't actually matter too much.
See? You can just do whatever the fuck you want, man. You play Protoss. Good job. You picked the right race on the race selection screen.
Once we hit...
This should just give you the win right there. Okay, that's a joke, guys. That's a joke.
20 supply, we get a Nexus on our natural base. And once we get that Nexus down, we do not build a worker until we start our Cybernetics Core, which also will be built at 20. And here we pull a cool move. So because this build is mainly mineral focused, we actually pull out of gas. So 1, 2, 3, 4 workers out of gas. This keeps us mining with 1 workers.
Ooh, that is a cool move.
Very often Zerg players have an overlord over here or over here, and they can see your nexus not producing probes. And it's like, if you cut workers, that would suck. So what?
See, this is like something that I need to be looking for, but I honestly don't. I do not check if a Protoss is making probes with my overlords. I check if there's a probe coming out of the nexus, but I don't actually check the animation of the nexus itself to see if it's producing something. I know that at some point, Harstem started doing this move a while ago, where he like fakes the probe production on the nexus by starting up a probe, then canceling it before it finished, and then starting up a probe, and then canceling it before it finished, just to trick the opponent into making it look like they're making workers, which is like, once again, some 5D chess. It's very difficult to actually judge by it, so I try and not read into it too much, but I probably should at the very least look out for it.
What we will do, or what you can do if you're, I would
you
say
can fake
above
it.
masters, is you can fake build
New
workers
subscriber
by
detected.
starting a new
That's what I'm saying, bro.
worker, then left clicking on the portrait of the probe that is warping in basically, and it will cancel that one and start a new one. So it always looks like you're building, but you're not actually making any workers. Like
Yeah, so that makes it like a very difficult build to scout though. So for a long time, Zerg players would send 2 overlords to the other side of the map, one to the natural, and then usually one in the back of the main base of the Protoss player to scout. But because Stargate openers are like 99% of the build orders you go up against right now in a macro game, sending the second overlord to the other side seems to have fallen out of favor recently. So players just haven't been doing that anymore. So it's very difficult to actually get that OV in, because you just have one overlord usually in the natural. If it's a quick stalker from Protoss, you're not going to be able to send in another overlord in time. So at that point, your only option is to go either lair into Overseer, right? Which takes a long time. Or you go overlord speed, but that's like as expensive as a lair. So pretty much no Zerg player is going to go for the overlord speed. So you're probably not going to get this scout in. Build order guide for a cheeky 5-gate versus Zerg. Play this once you get tired of winning StarCraft 2 games with Void Race.
we always want to pretend like our natural is still working, is still building workers at all times. So 32 supply, 33 supply, and one more gateway at 33 as well. I'm completely cutting at this point in the main base. Our 5th gateway that we're going to be building will be a little bit delayed. It can be as late as 20 seconds later as your last gateway. Get the prism before you get the 5th gateway as well, because it's not an issue. You want to always try to time out, properly time the gateways together. So that's why you always can get it 20 seconds later after the other one, because a warp gate cycle takes 20 seconds. That's completely fine. We get a 5th gateway, make sure that we're always at least pretending to build these workers. We chrono boost on our prism, and now that we have our 5 gateways, we have our 2 units out, and we have our prism on the way, we can start adding pylons. We can add 1 or 2
This build hits like a truck, man.
While we continue worker
like, I'm
production.
trying to see, I'm looking at this video to figure out what I should do as a Zerg. Because that was an awful lot of units that just hit me, you know, very early on. Yeah, faking building workers on the Nexus is really clever. Because if you, like I was saying, right, since you only scout with 1 overlord these days, you only send 1 overlord out because you otherwise, like, how would you scout this as Zerg? I'm really not sure. I guess your best tell is probably the gases in the natural and the lack of Void Ray at 4 minutes. So normally Void Ray pops at 4 minutes. And then they use that Void Ray to escort a probe to the 3rd base and then plant down a 3rd. The problem is that there's like a bunch of different varieties as well, where Protosses don't get the 3rd base until 4:30, for like 45, maybe 5 minutes even.
For a little bit more.
So like, it's hard to get that read in, you know?
Our warp prism will fly to an undisclosed location.
What do you do differently if you know? So if you know, okay, so in this particular game, I built 42 workers going up against the Protoss who built only 34, right? So what I would want to do is have like maybe 38 workers. 42 is slightly too many. These battles would have just slightly gone in my favor if I had just a little bit more. I think you only scout this by either sending an Overlord into the main base or by seeing the lack of probes in the natural expansion. But this is like not a small amount of probes though, right? That's a lot of probes. It's very difficult to differentiate between this and 16. You can kind of see it, I guess.
Where we will warp in our first 4 Stalkers. We will now cut workers the moment our first warp in hits. We will stop building workers. We should have at least 2 in gas. So 4 workers in gas total. You see I did 3 over here, 1 over here.
Yeah, he did actually too many, I guess.
And we cut worker production altogether about now. 4 Stalkers. Make sure that you continue pylon production. Every time you warp in, you'll need at least 1 pylon. Sometimes I like to build...
Yeah. I also had +1 missile coming. I should have cancelled that. It's a scary thing to cancel.
To have enough money. At the same time, after you did your first warp in, you can start moving out with your Adept and Stalker. You full wall your natural. And then once... That's
a big tell as well. I think I saw the full wall in the natural. Would that have been too late though? Did I make anything... So it's full wall basically after the first warp in, right? So my opponent was actually slightly late as well. To imagine that like this could have hit a good 10 seconds sooner or so is kind of crazy. Because he full walls already at this stage in the game. And this is much later.
You can truly start fighting your opponent. Stalker should be targeting roaches. Zealot should hopefully be targeting Zerglings. And a quick trick is whenever there's a third base, try to stand in between the natural and the third and to chase units. Your goal tends to be to kind of kill the units, but don't chase them too far away. Try to always have a goal that you can attack, which forces him to attack you. So if you're close by a mineral line, he will feel forced to attack you. Otherwise, he will start losing.
Man, this is a killer build.
That is
like we're 4 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, and this is the army. And there's 5 more Stalkers coming very soon.
The build. Keep warping in units. Keep building pylons. And happy destroying Zergs. Now we will have 1 game afterwards where I play it against another pro player and hopefully win the game. Alright, I got some up-and-coming Zerg player to play a couple of games with me. I don't think most of you will know him, but he's a... I don't know,
it's Cyril, isn't it?
Pretty cool guy, and... I don't know, I have a feeling he might be making it big pretty soon. So we're sending out our first worker, like I mentioned. So I'm just harassing minerals. You guys don't have to do all of that, right? It's not really necessary.
Dude. If you're like below top 100 GM, like don't even bother. Oh yeah, it is Cyril. You saw the name? What a troll. It literally says Ed Cyril.
So yeah, I'm just going to get this Nexus down. You see our opponent is still mining. He's trying to actually pull off workers. It's pretty bad play in general. I think it's better to not actually pull off any workers and just micro your workers onto the mineral patch. But I mean, he'll learn over time, I guess. Maybe one day he'll be able to play in the big leagues.
What a troll!
Pylon. And like I mentioned, I want to have a lot of space around that pylon. Now, if you're not sure what your opponent is going to do with their first Overlord, something that you can do is you can just start with a Stalker rather than with an Adept.
Yeah, dude.
It's kind of irrelevant.
You know the nastiest part about this is that it's not even very rigid. Right? It seems like it's like, yeah, you can leave 1 or 2 probes in gas. You can add on the 5th gateway whenever you have the money for it. Just make sure to start up the warp gate first. Ideally 20 seconds in between. But I mean, it depends on if you go Stalker first or Adept first. There's a lot of stuff. Like, you can wiggle around pretty easily. Now, obviously, there's going to be like a couple of seconds of delay here and there. But it's probably not going to amount to look more than 3 or 4 if you play it perfectly. It's very nasty. Like, if you start Stalker first... Zerg is never going to scout this. Like, it's not going to be scouted. So I'm curious to see what Cyril does.
Or well, kind of, it's completely irrelevant.
So most of the time, by the way, just to put it in perspective, Zerg players will go 4.5 minute-ish lair and then into a Roach Warren. So usually it's like 4:30, 5 minutes lair and then into a Roach Warren. That is what most players will go for. However, against most Robo and Twilight-based openers, you should go for like a 3.5 minute Roach Warren and like skip the lair. The problem is that if you do that against a Stargate opener, right? So normally the first Stargate opener, or the first Stargate unit rather, comes out at about 4 minutes. You should already have the Roach Warren going up at that point if you're going up against a Twilight-based opener. So it's really difficult to find out. It's Warp Gate right away too. Okay, so that is something. Warp Gate right away does make it... Yeah.
Still start with an Adept. I like to get that scouting information with my Adept, even though it's not going to really change anything here for me.
Yeah, it's rough. No, safety bailingness is too expensive.
Try to send these links across the map.
You don't have the gas for that.
And basically try to run by. We're going to get a Stalker here.
Maybe. I don't know. If I hope that Cero plays a normal game here.
And we pull out of gas.
Dude, his pull-out game is really strong. Are you guys seeing this? He did it perfectly twice now. Amazing.
And then we go back in here. We can't really send it out because he sent his units across the map. Don't forget, right now,
look, Stalker.
42. Oh. We need to get
so
all
nasty.
of our buildings down the moment the clock hits about 56. We need to have our gateways down before that timing.
56?
So just now we're going to be building...
What do you mean 56?
Our prism.
It's like give or take a couple milliseconds. You know, it's about, you know, it could be 57, but like definitely not 58 though.
We can get this bad boy.
Oh, you mean 56 on the Warp Gate research. Oh, okay. 56 out of 100 on the Warp Gate. Okay. Right.
It's not the cleanest execution, but I think it's going to be good enough. To beat this guy at least. It's not quite the greatest player. Just a small up-and-comer. Yeah.
So we're now at 3 minutes and 45, right? I think if you want to defend this really well, you probably need to get the Roach Warren up and running already. So what has Cero seen at this point? Cero has seen Adept into Stalker and instant Warp Gate research on the Cybercore. I don't know if that is enough for Cero to trigger just starting up the defense against like a Twilight or Robo-based opener. Maybe that's all you need. Like it is Stalker and a Warp Gate research pretty quick. So if it was a Stargate opener, like the thing is Stargate is 150 gas, Robo and Twilight are 100 gas each. Meaning that, you know, if this would be a Stargate opener, it would be pretty late.
Quick pylon over here. He's going to try to scout a little bit.
He's not going to see the mineral line. He does see the lack of gases over there too. I don't know. Normally Protoss doesn't get the gases in the natural until after the third base with a Stargate opener, so that's not really a tell.
I can't see perspective on this thing. It's very weird.
I don't know if he's been faking probes, but maybe he has been.
He didn't actually see my...
Hearthstone is very smart.
My prism move out.
Nope,
very often the Zergs will see your prism move out. Oh, I actually messed up my wall a little bit.
It's okay, dude. Don't worry about it. Couple gateway, a couple pylons. Second pylon there actually seems a bit strange, to be honest.
We get this bad boy warped in. Then we get 2 extra zealots. See, we don't have the cleanest spread, but maybe we're gonna be fine. And now we just really want to micro these stalkers against this unit.
Spine, okay.
We cannot. We shoot that bad boy down. Maybe we can even kill something like this, huh? That would be nice. Really neat. Really neat.
Yeah, losing an Overlord is super painful. Here. So this is not that clean an execution then, right? Like it seems a bit random.
There's a Roach Warren down. Now, like I said, we want to have our zealots usually attack.
This is a killer build, man.
I can get that one, I think. So now we're attacking something that has some type of value to it.
So he does get a Roaches out right now. Meaning that he did not start up the Roach Warren at like the normal timing where most Zerg players would start it. I don't really know exactly what timing this Roach Warren started at, but... Oh yeah, this is like definitely not a build that Cyril was expecting. Like he's likely gonna lose the natural here or whatever. Maybe he defends eventually, but that's also because this build wasn't super clean, right?
Nah, this looks pretty solid for us, honestly.
Yeah. What a nasty one.
Yeah. It probably won't be this easy against everyone. But
what a nasty thing to say, dude.
This is just kind of what happens, I guess. Huh? Oh, am I actually winning still?
I don't know, dude.
You probably need to move a little bit faster than I did this game, because if you don't, then there's a possibility you just kind of get outproduced by your opponent. You can.
So he started making probes
again
again
during this, by the way, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, I think Cyril should be able to hold here, right? But
and just chrono boost your
that is very close.
I don't actually know the.
No, you can't get Dark Templar here. No.
Stalkers you need to one-shot a roach.
Like there's no Twilight Council. This is just Robo.
A while now.
There's also no gas here, so like you don't really have an option.
These queens. With this queen. You can start attacking the roach warren as well.
Man.
No, I actually didn't think this build would work, but you live, you learn, I guess, huh? A little bit of relatively easy micro with the prism. Nothing too fancy. Most people should be capable of that once you hit like the Grandmaster MMR.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like this is not what most people are capable of, Hearthstone.
Too many workers as well, huh?
That is not what most people are. Okay.
Of,
no, he luckily ended that sentence saying, "If you're Grandmaster." I think sometimes the pro gamers do have no idea what happens in the lower leagues of StarCraft. Like Hearthstone knows obviously because he's done the rank roulette thing and he's seen a lot of games over the years. But I think there's a lot of people that have no idea. Like they probably think Silver League is the way that people play in like Diamond 1. You know what I mean? Like it's like a good couple thousand MMR of difference. Yeah, exactly. Like they watch someone who's in Platinum League and are like, okay, this is Silver 2. It's like there's yeah, it's something that is quite difficult to put in perspective if you are familiar with the game.
Still remains in my eyes a valuable build to have in your toolbox. He just micros very well.
Yep.
Yeah. I wonder what my work.
I think he's ahead. Yeah. What the hell? Why'd you GG?
Oh, he had 25 workers.
Yeah. Wait, why did he leave? He's been overmaking workers. Zerk is at 25. This is a win. Hello. Why did he...
Oh, I probably shouldn't have left the game then, huh?
No, you probably shouldn't have. He pulled the boys there at some point. So, okay, I was secretly hoping that Cyril was going to show us how to defend this, but...
Well, haps to the best. I mean, yeah, he's a nice player. He might go well. We can give him the win.
This is definitely a win for Protoss. Like, he left the game. I don't know if he actually thought he was behind there or if it just, like, is the end of the video, you know? He's like, okay, I've shown the build. Didn't win the game straight up, but... If this was an actual match, obviously, he would have stuck in there, right? Because he knew he killed a bunch of drones and he knew that he was making probes during all of that. 0 chance for Zerk to win when Protoss is doubling the eco. There's no way.
If you too want to gain points on the ladder, this build will do absolute wonders. Just be sure to not quit when you're up 27 workers. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.
All jokes aside, this is a killer build. First time I'm playing against it today. It caught me off guard with how much stuff you actually have as a Protoss here. I wonder what the drone count of Cyril was and how many he made. He probably made like right around 44 or so. Yeah, this is a nasty build. Destroy Zerks with this 99% win rate all in 2021. I thought Cyril was going to defend it, but he didn't. I can't believe, though, that Hearthstone includes lower leagues of StarCraft, and then he mentions people below top 100 Grandmaster. That is literally 99.99999% of the player base. Ugh.